And once again, we are here downstairs right here in the B.R.E set. And this time we are filming a podcast for everyone to see, and well, not see, but hear. And we will be talking. This is the Joey and Ethan show, as you just heard. And this show we talk about what's going on around in the MLB. This will be a season round show that we do starting right now on December 26th of 2021, just around approximately 8:15 p.m.
And today we'll be talking about the off-season signings so far before the lockout, and me and Joey will be giving our opinions on what we think.
We have the score buttons here.
Yeah, and then we'll go over some of the main signings from last year and how that turned out. Let's get started, Pitchers. First of all, we got Alex Cobb, who went from the Angels all the way to the Giants on a 2-year, $20 million deal. Overpay or not?
I think it. So you said what?
2 years, $20 million.
$20 million is a little much for him, in my opinion.
34-year-olds, by the way.
30, yeah. Another old guy, in my opinion. Alex Cobb, I don't know. I think he did good against Tigers, but that's not really a shock.
Yeah.
But he didn't do good against anyone else, in my opinion. I think he did decent on the year. Kind of helped the Angels, kind of didn't. But Ohtani was the main guy of the Angels this year. I'm going to say overpaid on that.
Last year, he compiled 8-3 record, 3.76 ERA, over 93 innings pitched, 98 strikeouts. So, solid season, $10 million a year. No. And next, another guy that actually re-signed with the Giants, Anthony Desclafani, for 3 years and $36 million. What's your opinion on that one?
I think he helped the Giants a little bit in the postseason. Not to get past the Dodgers, though, because apparently they just couldn't get past the Dodgers. Even though everyone really wanted them to.
Except the Dodgers.
Yeah. But, of course, the Braves beat the Dodgers, and I have a Braves hoodie. Not from Christmas. I got that before Christmas. Actually, I think I got that before Thanksgiving.
Anyway.
But that was a very good sign, I think, because he kind of helped them at the same time. I think that might hurt them a little bit money-wise. It might be a waste of spending
$12 million a year.
Yeah, it might be a waste of your money. I don't know. Ethan, what's your opinion on that?
So basically, he went 13-7. He had 3.17 ERA, which is solid over 167 innings pitched, which is a lot for a older pitcher. 152 strikeouts. So I'd say that signing is justified, in my opinion. I mean, it depends. Next, we have one of the biggest signings of the offseason, Kevin Gausman, going from the Giants to the Blue Jays on a 5-year, $110
That's worth it. This is
million
worth it
deal.
because he really helped the Giants, and the Dodgers might have got him, but no one else got him during the regular season.
Yep.
He was a very nice pitcher this year for the Giants, and I'm really shocked that the Giants let him go. Or if it's Gausman's decision, I think he wanted to go to a new team. But the Blue Jays, they're going to get lots of help from him, and now they have Vladdy. But they got rid of a couple guys, too. B.R.E to the Mariners, I think that's coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I mean, that's going to Vladdy, Lourdes, and all of them over there. And I don't know, are they staying in Toronto, or are they going back to Buffalo?
I think they're staying in Toronto, hopefully.
Yes.
The only problem I have with this signing, 5 years, he's 30. Pitchers 10 days better than hitters do. But
talk about JV here.
And Scherzer. But the Blue Jays paid for a guy who a career has a ERA over 4. And last year was one of his best seasons. So it could be an anomaly because we've seen examples of it in the past where someone just has a really good season.
Right after getting traded, I'm going to talk about Tigers' options here. Max Scherzer.
Yep. JV got traded and then went on a roll with the Astros.
Scherzer's somewhere else now, right?
Yeah. He's actually in New York.
The Mets.
Coming to my just quick. Andrew Heaney goes from Yankees to Dodgers.
No one cares about that.
1 year, $8.5 million. Slight overpay. Dodgers need to fix rotation because they lost Scherzer and they lost Kershaw. And right now they only have about 2 to 3 actual starters. Kershaw's still in free agency.
Oh.
Rumored to go back to Texas, but they don't want David Price starting.
Well, they don't. I mean, that'd be kind of good because I'm just gonna throw the next one in here. Corey Seager, the Rangers, on I don't even know how much money.
10 years and $325 million.
I'm not looking at the computer. Ethan's looking at all these stats.
I know
here.
that back of my head. Yeah, 10 years, $325
I think that would be
million.
good to get them back together if they did sign Kershaw, but it's not likely, in my opinion, that they're gonna try to get Kershaw because they've spent most of their offseason money, I think, on Corey Seager and Marcus Semien.
Yep. Corey Kluber goes from Yankees to Rays, 1 year, $8 million. The Rays are rumored to trade Tyler Glasnow. Unloading payroll. What's your thought on that?
I think I had a bad attitude. That's all I'm gonna say.
The Rays have a history of taking these guys and making them look good, so I think he'll do all right if he doesn't get injured. Next up, Steven Matz goes to the Cardinals. 4 years, $44 million.
That was like one of the first deals to go.
It's kind of a meh signing, you know. It's really not that important. He might do good for their bullpen, but you can't speculate at this point. Another old man, James Paxton, goes from the Mariners to the Red Sox on a 1 year, $10 million deal, which is a slight overpay, but it's a 1 year deal.
Overpay, yes, overpay, definitely.
Paxton had about one good season. Then he fell off ever since, did nothing for the Yankees.
Tigers have destroyed him ever since then.
Exactly.
If you're getting beat by the Tigers, I'm sorry, I'm a Tigers fan, diehard Tigers fan, but no, you cannot get beat by the Tigers that much and still be a good pitcher. I'm sorry.
Next we have Willie Peralta. Just kidding, he's irrelevant.
He is definitely irrelevant.
Robbie Ray, another third-year-old, goes from the Blue Jays to the Mariners on a similar deal to Gosman's, 5 years, $115 million. What's your opinion on that one?
I mean, that's kind of trading a guy from east to west to east to west. Basically. You're getting Gosman to the east, you're getting Ray to the west. And, so, was he on a 5-year one?
5 year, $115 million.
He was really good. He won the Cy Young, of course, as we know, in 2021 for the American League. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
You once again bring up the stat of his career ERA is 4. And last year, I believe he had an ERA around 5 in 2020. But last year, Cy Young, he had a good campaign. 193 innings pitched, 248 Ks, 284 ERA. So, obviously, not a bad signing. I just think 3-ish years would have been a better range. Eduardo Rodriguez to the Tigers, 5 years, $77 million.
Joey's heart was wide open for that deal. I was like, welcome to Detroit, Eduardo. Oh, I love this deal because he's going to help our rotation so much. We need a good lefty, and Matt Boyd is gone. He's gone. We did not re-sign him, and now we're in a lockout, so now we can't do anything. And yeah, so it looks like our rotation is going to look like, I think, Rodriguez, Mize, School. It's going to be young, and it's going to be very good, very balanced this year. Turnbull,
hopefully, he can come back during the season. Last year, Rodriguez had dealt with a heart issue throughout the season. Ended up with a 4.74 ERA on 157 innings pitched. And
if I may, Joey Wentz too, when he come up in the season, he was phenomenal in Double-A.
Rodriguez, he's on the younger side, 28 years old. I thought he'd be older than that. Career ERA of 4.16. So the Tigers, it might be a slight overpay, but I think it's reasonable in that spot. Marcus Stroman, two guys that went from the Mets, Marcus Stroman to the Cubs, and Noah Syndergaard to the Angels. What's your thought on that one?
I think it was a very strange thing to me when I saw Syndergaard to the Angels, because I thought that guy was irrelevant. Because I have not
Tommy John. He said Tommy John.
I haven't seen him pitch in 2 years.
Yeah, he's Tommy John.
My goodness. But Stroman, another guy. I haven't seen him pitch. I haven't even heard any news about him. I haven't seen anything.
That's because he was basically average last year. He had about a 4 ERA for the Mets.
I felt like he was a Tigers pitcher last year because you heard no news about him, but you know the guy. You know the guy, but you heard nothing about him.
And then last year, one of the biggest signings, I'd say, of the free agency period, Max Scherzer going from L.A. to the NYC.
Another west to east deal there, or east to west, if you want to say it. No, that wouldn't make sense, east to west.
I'd say this deal, the Mets, their owner's a billionaire. So that was a huge overpay. I'm pretty sure he's the highest paid pitcher now in the league. 3 years, $130 million. He's 37 years old.
It's
Hopefully-
gonna help him very much though. It's very good.
Hopefully those rumors about the dead arm aren't true for the Mets' sake, because you need production out of someone you just signed for $130 million. And during those playoffs against the Braves, he couldn't pitch because of his sore arm or whatever.
And if that's leading to a surgery, they just signed a guy who's not even gonna help him for the first year.
Exactly. Next up, we got a couple notable relievers. I mean, not really that important. Kenley Jansen's still not signed. One of the best relievers. Ken LeGraveman goes from Astros to the White Sox. 3 years, $24 million.
As a Tigers fan, I'm kind of scared for that.
He did all right. I mean,
Tigers actually got him though, I think, back in when he was on the A's.
oh, don't worry, they probably traded him away. Well, I honestly think one of the craziest ones is Kirby Yates going from the Blue Jays to the Braves, because
That was very interesting when I saw that.
yeah, because
Because you don't usually see the World Series team try to sign a bullpen that they already have a good bullpen.
yeah,
But I guess if you have to upgrade your bullpen, because did they get rid of that too? Was that a trade or just an accusation?
I don't believe so. I think they've kept their team relatively the same. So
I wouldn't change a thing. Of course, Freddie Freeman on the free agency market though this
Yeah.
year too. And
the Dodgers are always there.
did I get you with that when I
Yeah.
texted you Freddie Freeman? Yeah. So I sent Ethan a meme or like a little
It was a fake signing.
fake signing that Freddie Freeman went to the Tigers, and that was very exciting. If he actually did, but he didn't.
And the thing I think with Yates is if he can come back from Tommy John, because a couple years ago he was an all-star closer, and now he's getting $4 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Big downgrade right there. Moving on, catcher Molina last year. Posey retired. There's only been really a couple of big signings. Yan Gomes going to the Cubs, which is meh. Roberto Perez to the Pirates. Pena to the Braves, and Barnhart to the Tigers, which they're all the same.
Roberto going to the Pirates is going to help us more as the Tigers, because that guy killed us as a Indian, or a Guardian.
Oh yeah, and Jacob Stallings is also going to the Marlins,
Mm-hmm.
which they're all the same. They hit 240. They catch all right.
So instead of playing him for half our games in the AL Central, now we play him for 4 games. Roberto Perez. So very big upgrade for the Tigers' sake. I think the Tigers, honestly, third place team this year.
Yeah,
At most, they're getting up there.
we'll end up coming out with the Tigers season preview later. First base, Brandon Belt re-signed with the Giants after a decent year. Some available free agents though: Freddie Freeman, Yuli Gurriel, Anthony Rizzo, and Kyle Schwarber, all on the market. Where's your prediction for Kyle Schwarber to go?
If I had to guess, Schwarber really helped the Boston Red Sox a lot, but I don't think he was enough to re-sign him though, because of his very, very dull
Defense?
No, games in ALCS
Yeah.
against the Astros. So I think he actually stays on the free agency market until this lockout. Well, of course, until the lockout goes. But I think it's gonna be last minute signing, maybe
Could see the Brewers.
to an AL Central team. Yes.
Brewers. Maybe the Cardinals already have Goldschmidt. Maybe the Cubs to replace Rizzo, but I think he's gonna get it.
Yeah, we haven't even
lower
thought about
salary
the Cubs, though.
deal.
The Cubs probably have all that money to spend now because they got
do.
rid of some guys.
Second baseman, the only really important one is Marcus Semien, 7 years,
To the
$175 million.
Rangers. Who would have thought the Rangers would sign all these guys?
It's honestly crazy because the Rangers, yes, they also signed John Gray.
Here's the question, though, that, most MLB pipeline is maybe asking, too.
Uh-huh.
Are the Rangers wasting these guys' careers by signing them just to go to a horrible team?
They got to fix their rotation. Their rotation is terrible.
Well, I said that trade is an No.
They have Garcia, obviously. They got Garcia, they got Seager, Simeon, who can all hit. Question is, how are you going to surround them? I mean, they don't know the answer to that yet. Maybe prospects. I mean, they got Josh
You don't
Jung.
got Kluber anymore. You don't got anyone.
They got Josh Jung. I mean,
They got Fultonevich, but he sucks. Do you want to pull up the home run numbers? I can pull them up right now.
John Gray, I mean, he's basically their number one pitcher, and they got probably younger players waiting in the wings, but interesting. It's interesting to see.
Can we look at free agents in the starting pitching rotation?
Yeah, I can actually. I can pull it up real quick.
Because I want to see who the Rangers could sign if they wanted to get a better rotation.
I mean, free agents that are still free agents, correct?
Yes.
So we got Danny Duffy, Mike Fiers. Zach Greinke's still a free agent.
Greinke might be able to help them.
Kershaw.
And that would only be about a 2-hour drive for him from Houston to...
Kershaw, UC Kikuchi, who fell off in the second half of last year. It's a lot of more, like, stopgap options. Like, there's people like Urania, Drew Smiley. Rodon. Carlos Rodon is still a free agent.
That's who I think the Rangers sign. Just to get another lefty in there.
Yeah, Alex Wood might not be a bad option. But
and honestly, Jose Urania started to pick it up a little with the Tigers.
Yep.
Towards the end of the season. I don't think it's enough to sign him, but give him one more year.
Yeah.
Maybe the Tigers will re-sign him.
I don't know. Seems like
the
Tigers want to go in a different direction after
They're
seeing
going
him
in a
play.
very different direction. They're not going up.
Yeah.
So let's see. 2014, probably the last best team that we had.
Yeah.
2015, very decent team.
Yep.
Very close to playoff position. 2016, even higher with Miggy going on his rampage. 2017 is where we start
Decline. Yep.
Taking the zip line downhill.
Brad Osmus and Jim Leland kind of
Yes.
like then he got fired and whatever.
Leland, I think we should have kept him. We should have kept him. He's still alive.
Yeah.
He's not dead yet.
On the third baseman, we got Escobar to the Mets on a $10 million a year deal.
Overpay.
Nah.
Over in years, over in pay.
Yeah, he's 32.
Another question about wasting a guy's career who did decently good, maybe.
Yeah,
I
I
call it.
I don't know if he'll start. He can play a lot of positions though. Ramirez is a free agent. Jose Ramirez. And then Chris Taylor, they count him as a third baseman here. 4 years, $60 million, which I think is an underpay. I think that's a steal right there for only $15 million a year.
Jose?
No, Chris Taylor.
Oh, Chris Taylor.
To the Dodgers.
Is Ramirez still with the Guardians?
He's actually a free agent.
So, Jose Ramirez is the question. So, the Rangers already have Seager and Simeon on the corners.
Yep.
Do we want to spend more money? Maybe, in my words, quote, waste a guy's career by signing Ramirez to a third baseman, of course.
Yep.
Multi-million-dollar, multi-year deal. And then do you want to sign maybe some pitchers, like you said, like Danny Duffy? Maybe, who's a non-lefty in there? Mike Fiers.
Tanner Rowe.
Fiers isn't horrible. He's not horrible. I wouldn't put, he's thrown crap, like 4 no-hitters, I don't know.
Yep. See,
So once again, just another thing that the Rangers could do, maybe.
I believe if I had to guess, I'd say that Ramirez is going back to the Indians because he still is restricted, which means the Indians can match the offers. But you never know if the Indians don't want to pay him.
The Guardians.
I'm gonna forget that.
That's gonna get hard. I don't blame Ethan. I'm not gonna call him. Everyone's gonna call him the.
And now we're to the shortstops, one of the biggest position groups. Javi Baez to the Tigers, 6 years, $40 million. I've heard mixed reviews about this one.
Thank you, God.
I've heard mixed reviews about this one. Some like Baez, think he's all right. Others think that, his defense is bad, or his defense is good, but his strikeout rate's all-time high. He swings for the fences. Me personally,
I will give it that. I will give it that he swings for the fences, but he's a very, very, very good player. In sportsmanship wise, he's a very good sport. He will bat lefty if you are up by a lot. And that's what I like. I like that he's a very good sport. He's just having fun when he's out there. He's just always having fun. It's gonna be a great environment for him to be with the Tigers. And by the way, signing Correa, who we didn't do, but what I thought would be funny is Correa, did the time, and Eduardo Rodriguez mocked it when they played him. I thought that would be pretty funny to see them in the clubhouse.
My opinion on Baez is you got him for 6 years. I mean, the Tigers probably didn't want to go into a long 8 to 12-year contract with someone, especially when you're going to get the tail end of their career, which is basically what they're getting with Cabrera right now. They had to pay him that
He's got
contract.
2 more years.
They had to pay him that contract, but because I mean how good he was, but now he's not. Baez personally, he's gonna hit 260. He's gonna hit 35 home runs, 100 RBIs.
And then you got Robbie Grossman, who says that he wants to retire in Detroit, and I love Robbie Grossman, but I don't think that the Tigers will keep him for that long to retire in Detroit.
It's kind of sad that he was one of their best hitters last year.
To be honest, I was not shocked when he was one of the best hitters.
No.
Once I saw what he started to do at the plate, his on-base percentage was very high to start the season.
Yep.
Because we saw what he did right away on opening day when he opened the season with a walk. And then, of course, Miggy sent one in the snow to the right field, and then that's how the Tigers started against Shane Bieber. And I was very excited when they started to beat Shane Bieber, because I hate Shane Bieber.
Anyway, Correa. Everyone wants Correa.
Everyone wants Correa in Detroit, but it's not going to happen. He's going to sign with either Chicago, or he's going to sign the Cubs, not the White Sox, or he's going to sign with the Yankees. That's my prediction.
I think he might go back to Houston. I mean, there's no reason.
If he declined that deal, he's declined that deal too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why not. I guess there's a reason where would he want to go with the winning team. There's not a lot of options there. Trevor Story's still unsigned, but I'm pretty sure it's basically the Yankees are at the top of the list for him. And then Corey Seager, who we talked about earlier, from the Dodgers to the Rangers on a 10-year, $325 million deal. Which leaves the Dodgers with a lot of holes in their lineup to fill now.
We and Mr. Mike on the show. Definitely.
Let's see. There's outfield Mark Canha to the Mets. About $13 million a year.
That will really help him. He's a decently good hitter. He can hit for pretty much some contact, maybe close to mid. Maybe he's like a contact power. He's like,
yeah,
you get 50-50 of him, and he's got, I don't know, does he have decent wheels? I think he's got decent wheels.
He's not D Gordon, but he's also not
good
Miggy.
ball player. Good ball player. That's what we'll end with.
Solid, paid the contract, not overpay. Next up, Starling Marte, 4 years, $78 million.
Also got another thing that helps the Mets in the outfield. And then, who do you have now? You just have, who? You have, Conforto or Dominic Smith, who plays.
Yeah. And Marte's defense is way better than those other
And we're still waiting on, Commissioner to, say if we are having a worldwide DH.
Yeah.
Or it's going back to regular. Well, it's been regular.
And then right field, Castellanos, Chris Bryant. They have him at right field because he played right field with the Giants. You could also loop him into that middle infield stuff. But those are two big names, and it doesn't look like they're going to re-sign with their respective teams. Bryant, obviously, we don't know where he's going to go. Probably not back to Chicago. And Castellanos, I feel like weird for saying this, but you always have to say the Dodgers. Because the Dodgers are just like the default option here. And then one of the worst contracts.
When Chris Bryant and Rizzo went, I was like, oh my gosh.
It's done.
It was very, very shocking when I heard that they were leaving Chicago on the trade deadline day. And Rizzo left before Bryant did.
Yep.
Bryant was actually one of the last deals, correct?
Yep. And then I think one of the biggest overpay for this player in free agency, Avisail Garcia, 4 years, $53 million to the Marlins.
He's also going to a sucky team, though. He's going to the Marlins.
I mean, I just don't like the contract. He's 30. I would never give him $53 million over 4 years.
After what he did in 2020, I'd give him $5 million.
He's not special at anything.
No, I'd give him 2 years, $5 million.
And then lastly, DH Nelson Cruz. Is he gonna retire?
No.
Who knows? And then JD Martinez, Dodgers.
I feel like that guy's the goal to go to every single team in the MLB because he's been with like 5 already.
Yep. And then let's see here. That wraps up the 2021, and then briefly we'll go over the 2020 free agency signings. Some of the best ones.
Very brief.
Trevor Bauer from pitchers, no. Gausman for 1 year, great signing. Corey Kluber got paid more than Gausman and did. They're paid slightly less than Gausman and did way less. Charlie Morton was solid for the Braves. Rodon for $3 million to the White Sox was a steal. Stroman did all right. That's about it. I mean,
what I found funny is that Charlie Morton pitched with a broken ankle through like 2 batters.
Yep. Which is kind of crazy.
And he got him out too. Like, that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
Justin Turner, Dodgers last year, $17 million is, I mean, he probably slightly underpay. DJ LeMahieu to the Yankees. He had a good start to the season, but not a great finish. As the Yankees fizzled out in the first round once again because they suck. Kyle Schwarber to the Nationals. That was a really good deal for the Nationals. Carlos Santana to the Royals. I mean, still got 1 more year left.
What was that? That was like 20 days straight with a home run, right? Or like, no, it wasn't that long.
No, it wasn't.
It was. I know he went a whole week, right?
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Santana.
Schwarber was amazing.
Yeah, Schwarber was good. Santana, he didn't do as much as he did with the Indians. Falling off, maybe. Brantley to the Astros, decent signing.
That was a really good signing. That was a good signing for them.
Marcelo Zuna to the Braves.
Yeah, that didn't help them a lot, did it?
It didn't help them either. Let's see. Kike Hernandez, that's a decent signing for 2 years for the Red Sox. I mean, he did.
And look what he did in the postseason.
I mean, yeah, he did.
You can't argue
right.
with it. And that's not his fault that they're out of it.
Nope. Jock Peterson, big part of the Braves team.
If I had to make a guess, I would say that Kike would, because he's a free agent.
Yeah.
This upcoming.
No, he's actually not.
Is he?
Next year.
Next year, okay. So, I'd say next year I want him in Detroit, honestly. If he puts up a good performance this year too, if he continues what he did.
Yep, for sure. Anyway, that'll wrap up the first podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Share it with your friends, and thank you.